Hey, here we go.
You look lush.
It's that time again. Welcome to the podcast that takes a light-hearted look at money.
We dive into the wild world of spending and saving, the ups and downs of budgeting, money mishaps, and tips that actually work to help you keep your finances in check.
Whether you want to spend it wisely or widely, we look at how to get the right formula so you're never spending more than you need to, or get tripped up along the way.
I'm Charlotte Redding, product expert, master of multi-buys, and value for money enthusiast.
And I'm Vix Leyton, the other half, consumer champion, prolific spender, devotee to the next day delivery. And this week on Spendology, what are we talking about? It's Friday. Gotta spend on Black Friday. But do you though? And should you?
Yeah.
Is it actually any good? We also deal with how to get your own personal Black Friday. Sorry, Depeche Mode. I don't know why I've made this episode a musical, but we are where we are. Plus, eccentric restaurateur Hugh Corcoran has rage-tweeted about diners not meeting his minimum expectations with their dining choices. Is dining out becoming out of reach?
Hi, Vix.
Hi, Charlotte. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you doing?
I'm good. It is coming up to Black Friday, though. And
Are you excited?
if you're listening to it now, Black Friday's already here. Oh, my God. Exciting.
Well, Black Friday is imminent.
It is imminent, but it's not. You're right. Do you know what? It is, because in my mind, Black Friday is now November. The whole of November. So I don't know about you, I've been absolutely assailed
Inundated.
with Black Friday Cyber Weekend deals. Like, it started at the end of October. It's like, put your pumpkins away, start spending.
They won't leave me alone. Honestly, absolutely everybody wants to give me Black Friday deals that I don't want. And they've been harassing me since pretty much the 1st of November. And they're like, get your Black Friday deals. And I'm like, it's weeks away. I think people are trying to beat the rush.
I know, but it's not just people trying to beat the rush. It's shops trying to beat the rush. But do you know what? We're going to leave it on a cliffhanger there because we've got loads to say about Black Friday. But first, I want to talk about this eccentric, horrible man. And we disagree on this. So I brought it up expecting you to be as outraged as me. But you you came at me with the logic. But let me talk to you about. His name is Hugh Corcoran.
Right.
I'm not going to tell you the name of the restaurant because he doesn't deserve the free PR from it. But he rage tweeted or rage X'd, I don't know what the technical term is, that he wasn't running a park bench, basically, and that people were coming in and they weren't spending enough money. And so they should just go away. Basically, he was annoyed that people are coming in and sharing main courses when, in his mind, he thinks 2 mains and a starter, acceptable maybe? You know, still on the low side, but acceptable, but small plates. No.
So he wants to enforce what people are spending and have a sort of minimum spend per person that enters his restaurant. Also, can we take a moment for the fact that, like, I'd love to accuse him of running a park bench because that seems like a really harsh, aggressive attack on a man who is being very silly. I'm not running a park bench. Maybe you are.
Yeah.
But it's a social eating. Going out is a social activity. We go out to sit and we're not America. America, it's about, high turnover. Yeah. Everyone is rushing you along. They are serving. They're sweeping things away.
Charge.
You're still trying to grab those last chips off the plate. They are being yanked out of your hand so you can get out of their restaurant. So they can just get you absolutely churning through. It seems like he wants that.
He does, but also he doesn't allow reservations that you don't call up for.
Sorry, you've got to make a phone call.
Yeah, I know, awful. He's a bit of an eccentric. I think it's self-styled. I think sort of like those...
He's obviously very pleased with himself.
Oh, yeah. Like those pubs where the guy's like, ooh, don't use devices in here. And we have all our own brand stuff because we don't want, that
places
guy.
that have like a box in the middle of the table for you to put your phones in.
Yeah.
Like, I will not be overcome with the need to Google something throughout the course of this meal. You're kidding me.
Yeah. Oh, are you free next week? Don't know. It's in the box.
We go out, we like to take our time. At least we're not, who is it? Is it the French and the Spanish, I think, who famously, their meals last for hours and hours and hours, and it is an entire evening and it's devoted to good company. In Italy is the same, I think. You know, across the continent, people love going out and sitting and just, you have drink after drink and you sort of...
And they bring plates of olives and free tapas and they they encourage you to stay there to drink your drinks.
Because if you're having a nice time with your friends, you will come back and you will frequent that place. If I'm being loomed at, loomed over, loomed. If I'm getting loomed, I'm not going to feel comfortable. I'm not going to go back. But I do see his point.
See, I don't. I think the man's like, you know, I don't want to have to label it explicit this episode just for it, but I think it's worth it. An arsehole. I think he was an arsehole. And I just need to... I thought I was venting freely, and then you came at me with your facts. And do you know what?
From a business perspective, I do get it, okay? So if you are people who want to go out, if you were, you know, are you a small plate Sally, or are you a main meal Marcus? I've made these terms up.
That needs work. It's not that.
Are you a main meal Marcus or a small plate Sally? I don't know. But you do see his point that if you have a limited number of seats in your restaurant, the preference is for the people who are going to spend more. And those people are taking up chairs in your restaurant, sharing a side salad and having a tap water each, when those seats could be taken by people who've come out to have a 3-course meal and 2 bottles of wine. I see the basis of his argument is that as a restaurateur, as a businessman, your preference is for the higher spend customers. But how do you discriminate?
And also, it just feels very short-sighted and very old-fashioned, because...
Very much so.
You don't know somebody coming in, like we've got one in Sheffield, it's in Hillsborough, it's amazing, it's called the Orange Bird. Now we went there, they have 90-minute slots, they say it's 90 minutes, we've not been kicked out before, but...
They're very quick, you never hit that cap.
With that mentality, and there's a limited drinks menu, brilliant food, like quite a short menu, but gorgeous. It's lovely.
It's online booking, and if they have a slot free, they advertise it on social media. Somebody drops out, they put it on their Instagram story, you can jump in. It's a very modern setup, whereas this man is clearly trapped. We should be seeking help for the fact that he is trapped in another timeline.
But it's just, we shared a main. I remember the first time we went there, we shared a main and we had a couple of small dishes, and we've been back 2 or 3 times since. I thought about it as a venue for my birthday.
Yeah.
Somebody coming in for a light bite could be somebody that recommends it. Like, it could be a PR person. Yeah. Like, I was a PR person. And then when people would say, where's good? I would recommend those places. Yeah. So how do you decide what the lifetime value is of a customer based on one order?
Demolishing loyalty. Demolishing brand loyalty and the idea of return business and return customers, which is what the basis should be. His food can be outstanding, but if I'm being loomed, I'm not coming back.
Or you've read this article and you go, well, I'm not going to go there then. And I think
it's just an outdated model. Look at everything he's doing. So he is lambasting people for not ordering booze and ordering tap water, but we are in a day and age where people are going off alcohol. More and more people are saying no to booze, and they are asking about the low and no alcohol options. And yet he is livid that people aren't buying his expensive and overpriced wine and beers. You have to call up to make a booking.
Yeah. And if you had to cancel, he'd be personally mad at you, and I worry I'd be told off, which, even now I'm mortified by.
I won't do it. It's so outdated. And the fact that he seems to think that people now go out for all the time. If you're going out for dinner, it's a 3-course meal and all these things. It's from an age of abundance, and people eat differently now.
And casual dining is a big thing. Like, it's
small plates.
It's as cheap to eat out now as it is to cook in. If you've got a small kitchen, you don't have the air fryer that everyone's talking about, you can go and grab a meal or share some chips or something to keep you going. It's different. It's not an occasion. And if you want occasional dining, that is different. But I think this is a real risky strategy for all independent restaurants to shame people who want to eat smaller amounts, like to shame people who want to spend less, because the high street is now full of chains because they are happy to give you one small plate. They don't mind, because of the strength of the group, you can just go to Wagamama's, you can just have a couple of little bits and pieces. Yeah. They don't care. So all the small places that operate on smaller margins are being priced out of the high street. And if we want to keep these restaurants, yes, we have to support them, but we need people like him not scaring people away if that is the budget that they've got.
It's less waste as well. And, I can't remember the last time I cannot remember the last time I ate a 3-course meal. It's too much for me. Mains are seemingly bigger than they used to be in a lot of places. And the thought of eating, I just can't do it. I eat little and often. I'm a snacker.
And people do value volume. And I think the restaurants have followed that. You know, if you get a big meal, people are photographing things. And that's something else that he's called out. People are ordering things and then they're leaving without eating them. And I've seen that happen in the wild. And I remember this woman who was this tiny little bird woman came in and she had
tiny little bird woman
so
came
petite.
Crawling in from her nest.
So petite and she was so glamorous. But this, you know, and then she had like 3 or 4 sides and a full English breakfast, and she photographed herself. She had a photographer with her, photographed herself eating all the dishes, and then just left it all there.
So she just had a bite of all of them, and then...
And I was with 2 other people, and we were looking over, and we're like, what is the protocol here? Because she's paid for them. Can we have them?
You can't go and eat other people's leftovers.
No, you can't. But the waste of it wasn't even that I was particularly hungry. It was just the waste of it was heartbreaking to look at.
I would feel bad if I were forced. I wouldn't go to a restaurant that said, you know, he may as well just decide that it's, you know, it's a set menu. It's only a 3-course tasting menu. Fine. I probably wouldn't go there.
Or set a cover charge, and if you don't reach it with food, you pay the difference. Like, this is, you know, there are other ways of doing this other than shaming people. Like,
and I disagree with the shaming in this instance. I do think that some people should be shamed, and we should have more shame as a society, not less in places.
You are a shame ambassador.
I really...
You have advocated for the return of some shame.
Some shame. People are too comfortable. They deserve to be shamed, but not for this. And actually, not for the way we eat, the things we eat, what we want to eat. I am very happy with picking just the food I want to have. If I go out for dinner and none of the mains look inspiring, I'm not going to have one. That's your problem, Mr. Restaurateur.
I know. And it is, you know, with the budget coming in, like, it's harder now to pay casual staff. So there's going to be a huge problem. The impact on small restaurants and bars is massive. Because if you've got casual staff, because of the change in the threshold, you're going to be paying more for them. And even like things like hairdressers are saying, well, I've got Saturday girls that just wash hair. I don't need them now because for the cost of them, I'll wash the hair myself. So we are going to see some real changes. But, you know, I guess the point is, please support your local restaurants if you do want them. Support nice local restaurants. I mean,
that's the moral of the story.
Hughes in central London. This man is not hurting for money. He's giving me family money. Like, I might be wrong, but
you're just making these weird slanderous accusations about
the
this
of a
man that you find objectionable.
An independently financed man. But if you want to keep these little restaurants, they are there. And it's something that Valentine's Day, I looked and found all of the deals from local indie restaurants to stop people going and having a completely bang average time, shoulder to shoulder with other couples in Carluccio's. But you will have a nicer experience. Like, don't be put off by people like this.
And just order what you want. It's absolutely fine, and you should never be made to feel shame. But also, like, don't be afraid to just order 2 starters.
No, if that's what you want, have that. Like, I think it was my friend Dominic that introduced me to 4 starters rather than 2 mains.
Yeah.
And I've never looked back because I like variety.
You're a small plate Sally.
I am a small plate Sally.
It's not going to catch on.
I'm not a main course Marcus or whatever that
it was that
horror was that you just said. So yeah, we've absolutely lambasted who I consider to be a Scrooge level Christmas villain. Let's get to the good stuff. Cyber weekend. So it's nearly time. Are we ready? Is the nation ready? Is it still a thing, Charlotte? What's going on?
I'm sick of Black Friday. I think I'm sick of Black Friday because now it is all of November and I'm just getting bombarded with emails for things I don't want. Everyone is doing Black Friday. B2B. Black Friday has gone B2B now.
No.
It's insane. Like the number of people who are and suppliers of objectively boring things, you know, business software solutions and stationery and, you know, everyone is like a Black Friday deal and sale on these things. And I'm like, can we at least all agree to just keep it consumer?
At the very least.
At the very least. It's too much. And I don't think the deals are good enough.
No, and I think the trouble that we're having with Black Friday at the moment is it used to be amazing. So businesses spent the last decade deep discounting. They've reached a point where there was no margin in it. And it would have been, they're like, oh, it's brilliant. It's a loss leader. People will buy that. They'll put a couple more things in the basket, which in a retail store, maybe they would.
Yeah.
But online, everybody is shopping around aggressively for everything. And it reached a point where businesses a few years ago were saying, we're not going to do it.
I think
we can't afford to do it because what they made in that month used to be, it would be the big month that everybody was waiting for. Places like Next, places like M&S, this would be the start of where they made their money. And over the last few years, the cost of everything means that it's not happening. They're not getting it.
There's such distrust of the online advertised sales and all these things. So one of the predictions I've seen, I read the stat this morning, for this year's Black Friday is that the sales that will be in store are going up 9%. And online is dropping 9%. So we are having a return to going outside shopping for those Black Friday deals. I think it's because we don't want to trust that we're getting so bombarded with who's paid for the most advertising that we almost back ourselves to walk around those shops differently now and get our hands on it and touch it so that we're not ripped off. But I just, there's deals on absolutely everything. And it's too much. And I don't think they're the best deals that you're getting year round. I have seen things that, you know, in their big Black Friday promotion are the same price or a little more expensive than I know I paid for them 6-8 months ago.
Well, yeah, and people have waited for them to come around as well. So you're kind of stuck then. People have to believe that it was worth waiting 8 months to get a Shark Hoover because otherwise they've just been using a dustpan and brush for 8 months for no reason.
Just been struggling through with this dustpan and brush for all this time.
But I think the trouble is and the risk is that there are still really good deals out there and they're on the same sort of stuff that they were when it was first invented, when Black Friday was first invented sort of by Amazon as a kind of FMCG electronics sale.
Absolutely.
But people are so sick of the concept of Black Friday, they don't believe any deal's a deal anymore. And I think this is the risk, like, you know, but good deals, like, there is not a sales period for shops anymore. Shops have to give you as close to their most competitive price as they can to get your business because no one's got any money. So
and the opportunity to shop around for everything has never been easier.
But people aren't shopping around though. That's the trouble. Even in a cosy lives crisis, I hate that. I tried it. I didn't like it. Even where we are financially now, there are still people that are not shopping around.
People who are still paying full price. I was with some friends. I have those. Playing
4 or more.
Hang on, let me mentally count up. Does it count if 2 of them are family members?
It's an edge case, but
you know. We were playing D&D, playing Dungeons and Dragons, and we ordered Domino's pizzas. And a member of the group revealed and was absolutely shocked when we used a deal. This man did not know how easy it was or had never utilised. He was paying full price for Domino's pizzas.
Rate card.
Paying rate card for Domino's pizzas. It is mind-blowing. And I don't mean to shame him, but it's still, I will never forget the look on his face. And he was like, what do you mean? What do you mean they're not? We've paid for our whole family's meals. What I normally pay for just me. And we were like, you know, like you pick a deal on there. It's like 2 for £25 or like a medium pizza and a drink or something for this. And he was like, I just add them to the basket. He was like, I call up. It's around the corner. He didn't even order online. It was nearby. They'd know his order but he was paying full price. People, why aren't people using deals? Sorry, I just had to get that off my chest.
It's like people who go to Pizza Express and don't have free dough balls. What are you doing? Right? Martin Lewis didn't work his ass off for this. Okay? Think about Martin. What have you done? But if there's a chain, if you're at a chain, odds are there is some kind of loyalty scheme you can get on.
There are deals everywhere, year round. Everywhere has got a deal on something. There is always something on sale. Pretty much every single retail website now has a section of that site called sale. There is always, when's the next sale? There is always something on sale. And that's why, to me, I'm like, what makes Black Friday so special?
Well, that's the problem. Like, everybody is trying to get your business all year round now. But in places, and it is places like Amazon that can afford to heavily discount the things that they make. So again, you'll see Ring doorbells, Kindles, those kind of things will have some deep discounts. Some places are doing guarantees. So they say you're not going to get it cheaper elsewhere, or like John
That's
Lewis
interesting.
is still honouring Never Knowingly Undersold. So they brought that back. It went away. It's come back. So
What does that mean for the people buying
it
it?
just means if you find it at a cheaper price somewhere else, they'll refund you the difference. So it went
Okay.
away for a while. It was one of the fundamental underpinnings of John Lewis, and they brought it back this Christmas. So even the big, there's no such thing as too big to fail. Even the big guys are having to
stay competitive and do those things. The thing that gets me is that things reach this period of discount and they go down and down and down. When's the time to buy? How do you know when to buy? How do I know that if I have bought it, those deals started coming in 2 weeks ago. giffgaff was the first people who started sending me deals, and they sent it so early, and those deals have vanished now. Those deals, they brought out their early Black Friday deals, they've gone on phones. I've got to wait for the next wave of deals to come out. How do I know that those deals weren't better? How do I know?
Well, there is a risk of not buying anything because you're waiting for this magical golden price. And the good thing is, there are communities that do that for you. There are also tools that you can use. So there's one called Alerter, which is Alert R, and that tracks the price of things. You can put in something and it'll track the price for you, and it'll tell you how expensive it's been, when it's been at the bottom of the market. Hot UK Deals is a really good one. It's a really good community of basically the population of Latvia they're on there, and their hobby is finding the cheapest thing. So you will post a deal on there. If you see a deal as just an everyday person, you post it on there. 2 or 3 people will absolutely crawl the terms and conditions. Will put it in their basket to see if you can get discounts that stack, and will confirm to you. You can be validated that you are getting the best price. And I think that is peer review.
Yeah.
Is important. You can do your own desk research, but if you go on something like Hot UK Deals, put something in, odds are people will affirm you and say, yes, this is an excellent price, or they'll tell you what it's not. It's a lot of know-alls, but they're the best kind.
The nerds run the world, and they are the trusted expert in all category.
But also, you can't just take the price as it's shown, particularly with online. If you're in store, you take it to the checkout. That's the end of the transaction. The price you see is the price you pay. If you're online, you might get stung by a delivery fee.
Yeah.
And also you might want to be looking at if it's electricals and it's something you care about, you need to look at the warranty as well. So again, something that John Lewis is really good at is they typically will have a longer warranty on things than everything else. So if you can't afford to replace this item, that is something that you might want to look at. Also, bundle deals, new member deals. So sign up now. If there are places start with a list. Do not idly shop. No one can afford to idly shop.
Know what you want to buy.
Know what you want. Get your lists going now. Sign up for the places you think you're going to get those things, because you will have first notice of the deals that are coming in. So get in, sign up. If you're buying clothes, typically how they work, they'll discount expensive clothes, but a limited amount will be on sale, and once they're gone, they're gone. If it's that, if the size 6 trainers will be going because they're the most common. Or
I love a winter coat.
Yeah, winter coats. Everybody knows this story. If you know me more than 5 minutes, I'll tell you the story of my Ted Baker coat that I got for free twice because it didn't get delivered. I bought that in a smaller size because my size wasn't available. Magically, when Black Friday was over, all the sizes returned.
So you just switched out for a different size?
Yeah. So just buy it, because the worst case scenario is you send it back. So, if it's a decent discount on something that you want, if it's clothes, if it's not like last season's, if it's current season, it's sold out in your size, buy any size, take the risk. It's a small risk for a huge rewards. And I think
something that you might want to actually have at an amazing price.
Look for the flat rate things. Selfridges a couple of years ago did a 50% off everything, which was wild.
Oh my God.
And I got gin advent calendars on it that were £100 and I got them for 50 quid. So
that's
the
such
Charlotte
good value.
Tilbury advent calendar at 50% off. All of a sudden the retail value of all those products was decent anyway, but became affordable. So look out for those things. Look for new member deals where you get, again, offered a flat rate against everything. So new customers, places like Argos, they'll be desperate to get your business in. Sign up to those. Use those discount codes. Look for things that stack. Keep your payment details up to date as well. So I think Oasis fans could have learned. We're learning from them. There are, as I said, a limited amount of these things on sale. So if it's if it's a good deal, make sure you're ready. Do not let your basket expire.
Yeah. Oh God, that would be harrowing, because they are normally limited stock.
And websites are awful. Like, it just like Ticketmaster.
Too much traffic.
They're not fit for purpose, and they're not going to pay to manage that level of traffic because it's a once in a lifetime thing. I remember when I was working at Voucher Codes, Quidco's website went down, and the first hour we were like, hee hee, because they were a competitor. But second time, when it went into the afternoon, it stopped being funny because you know the pressure that all the staff were under to get that back online. It was something to do with WordPress, I think. Someone put up a blog post, hit the wrong thing, brought the site to its knees.
Oh my God.
So it's get it in your basket, get it checked out as quickly as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Do your homework, check if a deal's a deal. Look in places that you don't, like, to your point about it being B2B, it's also on things that you don't expect, things like travel.
Yeah.
And, know what the price normally is before you go in there. Do not get bamboozled by a yellow sticker. But there are deals to be had everywhere, and you should definitely, if you want something, it is still worth being part of the game.
Is there anything you're looking for this Black Friday?
Do you know what? No, not really. I've pretty much got like all my electricals. Maybe I'll look at the Dyson hairdryers again.
Again?
Well, I bought like the actual hairdryer I thought was rubbish. Like, I got it for Christmas one year and it just made my hair really flat. I don't know if I was doing it wrong. It could be user error, but
well, they don't teach you how to use these things.
But there's like a little Dyson thing that like pulls your hair in and curls it for you. And I've watched a lot of videos about it, and I've watched a lot of videos for fake versions of it that claim to be as good. But
is this like when things get shown to you on Instagram and it's 100% a fake video?
Yeah. But it's Dyson. I trust the brand. Like they are, everybody who uses that hairdryer is devoted to it. So I'm going to keep my eye out for that, because I'm not paying £500 for a hair curler, but if I can find a good deal on it, I know it's an investment because I can't curl my hair. I'm rubbish at it. I've tried to be cheap about it so many years in a row. I've got rollers. I've got so much kit that I won't throw away because, again, I'm the problem.
Do you set yourself a budget?
Well, I should. Like, I've got an idea of how much is enough discount to make this worthwhile for this particular item, but also I am broke, so I shouldn't buy it.
I think people should be setting themselves a budget for what they're going to spend.
Of course you do.
I'm obviously advocating for that because I love a budget. I love having a plan, a spending plan. But I think that the people risk spending so much money when they're like, I'll browse the Black Friday deals.
And there's a time sensitivity to it as well. It's the same thing. There are countdowns everywhere. It's a once in a lifetime deal. But I guess the message is, if it's slightly out of your affordability, don't worry about it.
Do you need it?
Because odds are Prime Day or something will come around and these discounts will come again. If you're signed up to the website, try again for January sales, because January is a horrible time. So there is some deep discounting available usually in January. So try again. Also, if it's something you can afford and it's a decent discount, buy it.
Yeah.
It goes both ways. Like, don't wait for an extra couple of quid off a £400 thing. Like, there is your question, is there a right time? When does it hit the bottom? The right time is when it feels like a good deal to you and it's affordable. Get it done. Like,
fair. That makes
also
sense.
value your time as well. So if it's something you've shopped around, you know what it's normally costing, it's less. It's a decent delivery window.
Do it. Push the button.
Just get it done. Don't
just push the button. Do it.
People just get analysis paralysis, and then they end up not buying anything, and then they'll buy it full price in a couple of months in a fit of temper.
Yes,
it's me. I've been people, but.
Do you know what I think has had its day, though? I mean, the last couple of years, we've seen such a spike of this, and like the deals on them, I feel like have dominated Black Fridays. Is air fryers. I'm sick of air fryers.
Hasn't everyone who wants one got one?
And I saw a stat earlier, and it's just, when you see something, because I never bought an air fryer, I never joined the fad. I'm going to call it a fad.
My mum's got one that she's desperate to give to us because she doesn't really understand how it works. I bought it before air fryers were a thing because she loves chips.
You got it before it was cool.
Always complaining about how fatty they are. So I was like, I've got a solution for that. There's tech for that. And it stayed in the box. Then she gave it away. I expressed annoyance that she'd given it away because it was quite expensive. So she has purchased another one. She still doesn't want to use it.
Now it's for you or to prove a point.
Yeah.
But I read somewhere this morning that people are abandoning air fryers in favour of, drumroll please, microwaves.
What? Because it was
people are going back to
slow cookers, wasn't it, last year? They were like, oh no, the air fryer's over, it's slow cooker time now.
And now the air fryer is over, it's microwaves again.
If you wait long enough, something will come back into style.
I know, and I just think, do you know what? Stop being appliance-led and eat the food you want to bloody eat. So, like, how you cook it should not be the deciding factor.
The air fryer is incredibly. I will.
But a
die
microwave
on this
is
hill.
more efficient.
But it's not as good. You don't get a good crunch on. Like, you can roast. You can do a whole roast dinner in there. You cannot do that in a microwave.
I cannot do a whole roast dinner in it because it's this big.
Well, get the one with 2 drawers.
I just remembered this is an audio medium.
It's
But
this big.
when I say this big, I'm gesturing something very, very small. Probably, I don't know.
Well, you've seen an air fryer.
Teeny tiny. But no, you can't do a whole roast dinner. It would take you hours. Just use a bloody oven.
It won't. No, we will. You've not tried. So when we get the one that my mum will give us, whether we like it or not, she will come to Sheffield and she will give it to us. When you get that and you see the lights,
no,
I cannot wait for the episode where Charlotte apologises for all she said about air fryers.
I will have to then issue a public apology to all users of air fryers who I think have jumped on a fad and to me, the air fryer is in its current state of like a panini press or a toasty maker.
No, it's the vinyl player for people who listened last week.
People get it and they go, oh, this is the next big thing. And they go, oh my God, I love this. I love the air fryer. I love all of this stuff. But unless you're eating those kind of meals every day, like I use a lot of hob-based meals.
No, you don't. We roast vegetables and you can roast vegetables in there. And
but I roast
they're good.
so many vegetables.
Yeah. No, we haven't got time. We haven't got time.
Either way,
it's happening anyway, whether you like it or not. Air fryer is coming.
It was the 4th most popular in-demand item for Black Friday. So it will be very interesting to see what happens this year. No, do you want to guess what number 1 was last year? Was the most popular item people were looking for last year?
PS5.
No, a phone.
Oh, well, I suppose everyone needs one and they are quite, yeah.
But I think the kind of desire to have the latest phone tech because there's not much gap in it anymore. I think that's waning. Yeah. And I don't think phones will top the chart this year.
What do you think is going to be number 1?
I don't know. I think PS5 is going to be back up there.
Well, they're available now to buy. Last year there was a scarcity issue, so people were buying them at whatever cost they were coming in at. But this year, I think.
Yeah, I think it'll be not the air fryer. The air fryer will not be there. I think the PS5 will be back up at the top of the charts. I think it'll be up there. You know, games consoles, there's always interest. I feel like wearable tech, things like the Apple Watch, probably. I don't know I can't gauge their popularity at the moment.
Apple typically don't discount ever.
No.
So any small saving on that will be well received. But another way to get discount on things, well, it's not discount because it doesn't come off the price, is get into cashback. Because again, it's you take that price and then you get the additional money of a percentage of cashback on top. People are like, how does it work? It's witchcraft. It's not. For the people who love cashback, that will guide their purchasing decision. I worked at Quidco for a long time, and we know that you will book your hotel if you are a cashback devotee at the brand that's got the best cashback rates.
Right.
You'll just go with that because it could be anything from like 5 to 20% in places. So it works for holidays. Now, it's not an immediate payoff. That's the thing. It does take a little while.
Delayed gratification.
It is, and I know people hate that. But
you hate that.
Find your item, check on Quidco or Top Cashback. See if there's a cashback on it, because again, it's like email. You only need an email address. It's not a protracted sign-up process. You'll get £10 off usually. There's usually like a new member bonus because they're desperate to get you in. And how it works is for the people within that cashback infrastructure, it's a better cost per sale. Because a lot of the products you get, particularly things like mobile phone contracts, travel, they build into that the cost of how much it takes to market to you. And they build into that how much they think they can make out of you as a lifetime member. So if you sign up for a particular streaming service, they know odds are you're going to be locked in for 2 years, and they put that calculation together and it helps them decide where to put posters, like what discount to give you. With cashback, they take all of that money on the user-led, on a per customer basis, and they just give it back to you as cash. That's how it works. There's no mystery to it. There's no magic. I feel like I'm just sort of
mentally trying to get my head around the idea of free money. Free money for a moment of my time. Fine.
Yeah. And
I'm in.
People don't believe that it works, but I cashed out when I was working there thousands because I was on it all day.
And you love buying stuff. See, the problem for me is I don't shop very often. But do you know what it's time for, Vix?
time for us to talk about your own personal Black Friday.
I can't believe you're trying to.
I'm trying to make this a thing. But yeah, this is a quick aside. If you haven't got the money now for Black Friday, but you love discounts, come up with a fake birthday and sign up for loyalty schemes and accounts with that fake birthday. So if you've got brands that you love, get in there. For me, Joni is one of my favourites. Like, it's another place I'll never pay full price for, because twice I've paid full price and then got a 40% off voucher, and I felt so furious. I didn't want to weigh the item when it came. Loyalty, it pays. Like, this is not going to become a surprise to anybody.
No, of course
not.
But
it was my birthday a few months ago, and I had a full week of my own personal Black Friday with one-off voucher codes for 20% off single items, 25% off total site, free drinks, free bottles of Prosecco, free dinner. Get into the habit of signing up. And, if you're someone who doesn't want anybody to know your data or your purchase habits, that's where your Black Friday birthday, your personal Black Friday birthday comes in. Pick a date, any date. They will not ask you for ID.
Pick what is objectively the saddest month of the year for you, the furthest from your birthday and Christmas. Pick a random midpoint so that you get all of the joy of those things at a random time.
Or pick November and get all your birthday deals as part of your Christmas shopping experience.
And then buy gifts with it.
Yeah, so you can have your own personal Black Friday. That is probably
your own
personal
Black Friday. I don't think...
You got on board though, didn't you?
I know,
and I love that.
It's too... I can't... If someone starts singing it, I've got to join in.
Should we go for now versus then?
Then versus now.
Now versus then.
I've got, for you, on the topic of Black Friday and people buying electronics, I've got an appliance.
All right.
An
Talk
appliance.
To me about your appliance.
Well, I was thinking this morning, do you ever just look at something and you think, God, that's a good bit of kit, isn't it?
No.
What a clever bit of kit that is. And in this instance, I was thinking about the fridge.
Right, okay.
Because I think we take for granted how good a fridge is. And then I was like, how old is the fridge, right?
Right, okay.
How long have we had
the concept of the fridge?
No, not
or
the concept
the fridge in the
of
house,
refrigeration. I mean, an electric fridge.
Wasn't clear.
So I'm gonna give you a sort of then versus now of the fridge,
right?
Particularly, okay. So the first fridge was the Electrolux Model D.
Okay,
and that was released.
So that's the Henry Ford of fridges.
Oh yeah, absolutely, the first electric fridge, and it was released in the 1930s, which is way earlier than I thought we had like a kind of powered fridge. But it really took off in sort of through the 40s and 50s, and by 1959, it was the year of 1959 where it really topped all other forms of refrigeration and options because there was a huge heat wave. But this fridge, when it came out, and the reason I've selected this as well is because whilst in my research about the fridge, because that's the kind of person I am, one of them, particularly this fridge, in the UK, is still in use.
What? From the 1930s?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Someone has one that is still in use. Like it's like 80 years going strong that someone has this fridge, and they bought it secondhand in 1949, and it's still going. You know,
big landlord energy.
You know when people are like, oh, they don't make them like they used to. Fridges apparently used to be way better.
Well, there's planned obsolescence in things now.
Absolutely.
Like that used to be probably a once-in-a-lifetime purchase.
Well,
like,
here we go.
person.
So back in 1949, when this family bought their fridge, they spent at the time £49 on it. But I must tell you that in 1949, in that kind of period, 1949, 1959, whatever this says. No, 1949. I misread my own writing. Back in 1949, when they bought this fridge, it was £1,600 worth of spending power.
Right.
Is the equivalent of £50 odd back then, which is a lot of money. So £1,600. And I want you to tell me what you think the current Electrolux 50/50 integrated fridge freezer.
Oh, it's freezer as well, though. That's not like for like.
It's not like for like because they are very hard to find with that little freezer drawer. Larder fridges are quite rare now, where it's not even got a little icebox. So without any kind of icebox or freezer, so I couldn't find an easy like-for-like match.
Right, okay.
But I want you to tell me how much this Electrolux fridge would cost now.
So tell me more about it.
It's a fridge, Electrolux branded. It is 50/50. It's a fridge freezer.
No water dispenser.
No water dispenser. It's just a fridge.
No ice.
No ice, no water dispenser. If it's not plumbed, it is a fridge.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, it's like the most basic fridge freezer combo that I could find. I was like the simplest form
but
of fridge.
It's still Electrolux branded. So
it's still
not
Electrolux
like a
branded.
little,
which is hard to find,
middle.
weirdly. But how much would that be?
£599.
£650. You are not far off at all. But I think that's one of those things where it is halved in price. But it's worth noting that they are projected. If you say, how long would an Electrolux fridge last? If you bought one now, they'd say 10 to 20 years. If you bought one 50 years ago, 80 years.
Yeah, so on a cost per use basis, over 80 years, it probably works out better value.
Yeah, and they are one of the most reasonably priced fridges. A Smeg fridge, for example, right now would set you back £1,300.
Oh, but they're lovely though.
Very weird shapes. But yeah, so and again, one of those items that, objectively speaking, I suppose the cost of materials, the technology, the use of chemicals and the things that keep the refrigeration going, the fuel efficiency, theoretically. But actually, there's a big problem with fridges now breaking in heat waves. They're not made like they used to be. But quite rightly, because they're half the price. If we wanted a fridge made like it used to be, we'd all be paying £1,600 for a fridge.
There we go. Again, like that's 2 weeks in a row where things have roughly been sort of better value than they were for a similar price. What are we doing here?
We are shining a light on the things that aren't as bad as they seem.
It's our own planned obsolescence. Don't worry, everyone. It's cheap now.
No.
Get out there. Spend your money.
We'll still be going in 80 years like an Electrolux Model L1.
Model L1, we salute you. And what a way to end the Black Friday special, talking about electricals, value for money, surprisingly good deals. I think we've summed it up. So happy spending if you are getting into the fray with Cyber Weekend. Follow us. We will try, where we see good deals, where we see bad deals, we will try and flag them across our social media. We might do a little bit of extra content over on the socials.
Maybe. They'll have to come and follow us, though, unless we get new followers. It's a threat.
We did an 8-hour Twitch stream last year, and by the end of it, I didn't know my own name or I couldn't process reality.
No, we were. Yeah, that was intense.
It was a long time.
It was a long day.
Let us know. I don't know if I was even saying words by the end. I was just dribbling and stuffing weird festive crisps into my mouth. So
which were nice. But come and follow us across all social media. What's our handle, Vix?
It's Spendology Pod on TikTok, on Instagram. You can find us on YouTube. That's on my own channel at the moment because we weren't so bold as to start a Spendology channel. So if you look for my YouTube, Vix Leyton, Leyton, not Vicky Leyton, not on a work computer, and you'll thank me for telling you that, you should be able to find it. But what should they do if they like this podcast? If you love this solid gold conversation, keeping us busy,
give me 5 stars. Give me those reviews. Review me. Subscribe to me.
Sweet validation.
Oh, give me those sweet 5-star reviews. Like, if you are thinking of reviewing a different value, don't review.
Yeah. I heard that you can only review 5 stars.
It's 5 stars or it's nothing.
We're coming off like Uber drivers that have nearly killed our passenger.
Treat us like you would your Uber driver, okay? It's 5 stars or it's I'm not going to leave a review.
Literally killed you. It's 5 stars. So that was our Spendology Black Friday special. Tune in next week and we'll tell you what we bought.